Come on, come on. King Chao, baby. King Chao, baby. My intonation is terrible. Thank you so much, ministers, distinguished guests, dear friends, fellow Canadians. I am so deeply honored to be with you to celebrate the ongoing journey to freedom. That is the story of the Vietnamese in Canada. So happy to be here with my dear friend and the first Canadian of Vietnamese origin in the Parliament of Canada, Senator Tan Hai No. And so many pioneers of this community. I remember meeting Dr. Kenney at the Ottawa Public Library in 2007 with members of the community who told me this story about the boat people stranded in Southeast Asia. Of course, there was the big program between 1979 and 1982. And let me pause, we saw some video of a dinner thanking Roy Atkey, who was the Canadian Minister of Immigration under the Clark government in 1979, which was one of the first countries in the world to open its doors to the Vietnamese boat people. Minister Atkey has passed away, but I want to remember him and his legacy because so many of you in this room are his living legacy. The legacy of Canada. A country built by underdogs. A country built by people who were often the losers of history. My own Irish ancestors during the famine. The Great Irish Famine. The United Empire Loyalists who founded English Canada lost the American Revolutionary War. The French Canadians who lost to the English in the 18th century. And waves of refugees who came here over the last 150 years. Those who fled communism from Ukraine. Those who fled the communist invasion of Czechoslovakia in 1968, of Hungary in 1956, and yes, those who fled the communist takeover of Vietnam after 1975. All of you who came through that program and subsequent programs, I believe you have a higher, a greater, a deeper appreciation of freedom than many of people like me who won the lottery by being born in Canada. So I want to thank you for passing on the gift of residency, citizenship, freedom, and hospitality in Canada to other Vietnamese boat people who were stranded after the program closed in 1982. I want to acknowledge the efforts of previous Canadian, Australian, American, and other governments that helped to resettle some, and yet thousands were left in Thailand and Cambodia and then Philippines. That's when Voice and the Canadian Vietnamese organizations raised with me and the Stephen Harper government the need to welcome the remaining Viet boat people. They were stranded, they were stateless, they did not have citizenship, they had a hard time getting jobs, they were in a precarious, vulnerable situation in Thailand, Philippines, Cambodia, and elsewhere. And they did not fit into any obvious legal box or program. We had to create a special program. And we needed the community, you, to guarantee that the Filipino and Thai and Cambodian remaining refugees would not be a burden on Canada. And so you stepped up as sponsors. You helped them find apartments. You guaranteed their income. You helped to find them jobs. You mentored them when they arrived. You helped their kids who had lived through much trauma in our school system. And now we see many of them in this room here today, like those who came in 1975 and those who came in 1980. They have gone on to become great and generous Canadians, passing on that generosity to others. So I want to thank you for tonight's celebration, allowing me to be one small part of this. And finally, let me say that I want to invite all of you at some point to come and visit my hometown of Calgary, Alberta. Who here is from Calgary? Yes? Okay. Us? All right. In Calgary, in one of the most beautiful places in the city, as Premier, I was proud to unveil the Journey to Freedom Monument with Senator Knoll. It is the most impressive monument anywhere in North America, if not the world, to the journey to freedom of the Vietnamese boat people between 1975 and today. Please come and see it. We need monuments like that across Canada and around the world to remember the adversity through which your community has passed and the generosity and compassion it continues to demonstrate today. Thank you, God bless you, God bless Canada, and God bless someday a free Vietnam.
Thank you, the Honorable Jason Kenney. And now I would like to invite the Honorable Ahmed Hussein